Hey guys, it's Danny. Today I'm going to tell you all about my shallow here for the zebra Pleco. Yes, this is his new environment. If you guys remember, the last time we talked about the zebra Pleco, about Max, was quite a lot of months ago when I actually arranged a whole aquarium just for him. Well, as it turns out, he really doesn't need that much space. Actually, I do believe feels more, and I don't know if it's a he or a she, but I think this fish feels more comfortable in a tinier space. So I'm gonna tell you all about it. First though, we're gonna start with just putting together the setup, and then we're gonna come back with some more thoughts and maybe a better camera angle. Why not? One can dream that I'll arrange my camera. Right, so first off, let's start with the mistake that I made. I put him in the discus tank. High temperature, carnivorous diet, he should be just fine, but he's actually not. Discus are very large fish, and this is a very skittish fish. He's not gonna grow very large, and if you think he's gonna behave like your typical bristlenose Pleco, guess again, he's not. He's very, very shy. I had him in the tank for about a week, and I can see he lost weight, sadly. So one day, I got him out using my bare hands, actually no net, and he woke up in a brand new home, which I do believe he enjoys a lot more. All products that I'm using have been purchased by myself, nothing is sponsored as per usual. The tank is a Blau Aquascaping Shallow that I really enjoy, and what I'm starting off with is some ADA Amazonia fertilizer. These are the sticks that the soil comes with, and I had them left over from the discus tank, and I'm going to top it off with some Tropica Aqua soil. Because I don't have optimal water parameters, soils really help me out, so I do prefer to use them whenever I need a lower pH. Then as for decoration, I'm gonna use these two pieces of wood, which have quite a linear, let's say, structure. You will see in a minute why. Many people use pieces of slate. I don't like them, and I don't know where I can find them, to be fully honest. So this wood looks a lot more natural, and it's quite straight, which is what I want. Plant-wise, I only used stuff that go well in a low-intensity setup, low light, no addition of carbon dioxide. So things like Anubias, Bucephalandra, cryptocorynes, you know, yeah, Maya, the usual things. In the beginning, I had different plants, but then I kind of moved things around, so that's why it looks a little bit different. Now, the filter that I'm using does create quite a bit of current, but I already purchased an air pump as well, one of those very silent ones. I will add it at some other point. I do want to make a review on that pump. For now, though, the filter is enough for oxygenation. The final tank mates are a bunch of Chili rasboras, which are very, very tiny, my betta boy Dream, which is a very mellow type of a betta, some shrimps, and some snails. Remember, this fish is very shy, so I want ditter fish, but I don't want anything big that can spook him. And his current tank mates are actually working out fabulous. Part of the Chili rasboras I had, the redder ones, part I purchased. They were already kind of quarantined at the place I purchased them from. They were there for a while, they didn't have any disease. I normally quarantine fish, but it wasn't necessary, and before I introduced my zebra Pleco, I also had them here for a week just to complete the cycle of the tank. And to this day, a month after, they really don't show any sign of disease or anything of the sorts. Now, la pièce de résistance, we have Pleco caves. I'm not entirely sure who is the manufacturer. I just found them in one single pet shop in this entire country. And of course, I forgot to take measures, but don't worry. Later today, I'm actually gonna go back to the place, get the other zebra Plecos. I'm gonna get more caves, and I will measure them. I'll give you the dimensions in the description or pinned comment. So, I'm arranging the caves under the wood. You see what I'm going with here? It's a sort of a stacked setup with the caves below for extra comfort and snugness. And here I am introducing Max after I acclimated him. The water parameters are very, very similar, so I didn't have to drip acclimate him. I just poured water from the tank every once in a while for about half an hour, and there he is. Oh, he's a little skinny. I really would not put this fish in a tank with a very big fish because he will have issues eating and you'll have issues even seeing him at some point. You might just discover a skeleton, to be fully honest. So yeah, that was my mistake. I would not do that. I would keep this fish in small setups with maybe some ditter fish if you're planning on breeding, maybe with nothing. You know, I'm not an expert on breeding or anything, but if you want tank mates, think small and peaceful. Although Max is getting along with betas very, very well. The chill type of betas, that is. All right, and we're back. Is it better? Maybe it's not. I'm doing my best. As you could see, very, very simple setup. Let me tell you a few things about my experience with the zebra pleco. He is a very, very shy fish, but very easy to take care of. I wanted this fish for so many years, but like the price was and still is kind of prohibitory. So before I got him, I was reading all sorts of like articles and information about him, and the more I was reading, the more I was afraid to actually purchase this fish until I kind of decided to bite the bullet, and I'm happy I did because it's really, really an easy fish to keep. And mind you, I don't have the perfect water parameters. I'm faking it with the aqua soil like most of us do. But honestly, my water parameters are not ideal. I mean, I have about 350 parts per million hardness, and then pH is around 8. With the aqua soil, it goes down to 7.5, maybe a little lower. So I am managing to make the conditions okay for him. I'm also using a heater in the cooler months. Now it's not necessary because it's already hot. It's too hot. I'm done with the heat, by the way. Anyway, it's good for him, not so good for me. So he has 29 degrees in his tank naturally because that's how hot it is. But other than that, I'm really not doing anything in particular. Could you breed this fish in these parameters? That's a whole different story. Obviously, mine is still a juvenile. It takes a while for him to mature. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna find out. But just to keep this fish, I really don't think it's that hard as maybe some articles might make you believe. If your water parameters are better at the sink, I mean, you can do without the aqua soil as well. I'm a plant girl. I like plants. I will always go to a planted tank as a default because I know the chemistry of it more than I know the chemistry of a non-planted tank. It's just easier for me to make sense of things and to care for it. So for this pleco, I did make a planted setup. I went mostly with epiphytic plants like Anubias and Bucephalandra, some cryptocorynes in the back, very easy plants because I do not intend to use addition of carbon dioxide. It's unnecessary, it's just another hassle for me. If I so desire to add it later, I can. Right now, I don't have issues. I don't have issues with algae because the light is adjustable, so there's really no need to start pumping extra fertilizers or anything in this tank. In the end, I want a nice green meadow, as you can see here. And the zebra pleco, my beautiful beta dream, which is a very kind beta. It's one of those mellow types of beta. And possibly a few more zebras. Yes, in a week, I'm picking up 2 more zebras, and hopefully at some point when they grow up, they might think about making some babies. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case. We can play with reverse osmosis water then. All right, so diet. That's a big one. The Hypancistrus actually is a carnivorous type of a pleco, let's say. I find that not to be entirely true. This guy eats Anubias. And it's not so obvious here, although he already started to do it. At some point, when I sold my aquariums, I had him in a separate tank, only with some Anubias and some Amano shrimps in a betta. And I noticed where he used to like to sit, the Anubias would start to have these grazing marks and holes in the leaves. It was only in that area though. And I always thought, oh, the Amano shrimps, maybe they ran out of algae or food and now they're starting to eat Anubias. What to do? But no, I have no Amano shrimps here, precisely because they might interfere with their eggs, if ever, and they also might interfere with the plants sometimes. And the way that I do my tanks, algae is not an issue. So I didn't put any Amano shrimps here. All I have are a few cherry shrimps. When I started to see the first or the closest leaf to his cave, he really likes this cave, although he moves a little bit, but the closest leaf to his cave again has those marks. I'm like, oh, it's you. And the poor fish, I have been feeding him carnivorous diet all along, and he just wanted some greens. That's all he wanted. So from time to time, I'm starting to add some cucumber, maybe some zucchini. He doesn't eat it all up, but maybe he grazes a little bit on it. Maybe the poor fish wants some veggies in his diet, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think these guys, at least the juveniles, I don't think they're strictly carnivorous, and I think they will start to munch a little bit on some of the plants if they don't have in their diets more vegetables, let's say, or more leaves. So I'm gonna probably go to the store and get him some more leaves, maybe some spinach, maybe something like that. Oh, he's coming out, look at him. He's not shy anymore. Oh, he's so beautiful, I love him so much. So yeah, he doesn't only eat meat. So he does enjoy the betta food, and I feed him the discus food or premium food, whatever. I'm not entirely sure how this particular one is called, but it's made by Discus Food. This is the soft granules. I put it in a jar because ants, they can actually make holes in these envelopes. So this is Pleco Special Soft Granules. And this, from the same brand, is Pleco and Catfish Carne Wafers. I do find these on Amazon. Also, there is somebody who sells them locally. They're not very available in this area, but like these will last me a lot of time. And whenever I feed the fish or feed the betta, he comes out and he eats whatever falls on the ground. So he enjoys the betta pellets and all of that. I also at some point was giving him bug bites. He enjoyed those as well. I'm not sure if he enjoys frozen food. I've actually put brine shrimp next to him, could not be bothered with it at all. So yeah, I don't know if he eats that brine shrimp. I'm giving brine shrimp to the aquarium from time to time. If he eats, yeah. If he doesn't, he can do well with the pellets. So that's the diet. I don't know how they will be when they are fully mature. I did read some sources which say as they're juveniles, they need some vegetables in their diet as well. I totally agree. Like the Anubias was severely hit. 2 months he was in a separate tank, just him and the Amano shrimps, and the Anubias, only the Anubias around his place, it was not savable, let's say, anymore. So I'm hoping he's not gonna eat all my Anubias here. We'll see. I'm gonna give him not carrots, cucumbers and such. Maybe he's gonna leave the Anubias alone. So that has been my experience with diet. Now, tank mates. He is non-aggressive with anybody in the tank. He gets along very well with bettas. He was the best friend of Hellboy, if you remember. They were both looking for food, and I lost Hellboy sadly. So I thought maybe he's gonna get along well with another betta, and I introduced Dream, and they're best buds. Dream sometimes goes there and looks at him, and I think he knows when Dream is around, there might be food around. So Max, the zebra pleco, comes out and starts to search for stuff. They go hunting together, you know. They don't attack any fish. Dream is actually a very, very mellow betta fish. He's a sweetheart. Most of the bettas that I owned recently, they have all been sweethearts. So they get along just great. Other than that, I have some chili raspberries here. You know, they're very tiny. They do not harm anything. These guys can be rather aggressive to tiny stuff, such as shrimplets. But there are quite a few plants for shrimps to hide. I do have some blue dream shrimps, and that's about it. Oh, and some snails. And that's about it for the tank. I think tank mates for the zebra pleco obviously are fish that are not very big. Zebra plecos grow to about 10 centimeters max, as far as I understand. My pleco is around 5 centimeters at this point, I would say. Definitely I would not put him with discus. I did this. I thought he would do great in the discus tank with the temperature and everything. Did not see him because he was afraid of the discus. So big fish will make him not be very sociable. He will be shy. Also, being alone, I don't think is a good idea either, because you need some ditter fish to let him know that, hey, everything is safe. If they're out, he can come out as well. That's what I believe. So a combination of mellow, tiny fish that bother nobody should be great for zebra plecos. When it comes to housing them with others of their own kind, we're gonna see. I do see people on the internet housing them in pretty smallish tanks. and I have something to say about this, but I see them housed together in smallish tanks, and except for some very mild like aggression when it's time to breed, I don't think there are issues. So I did get them a few. Oh, he's so pretty, he's out. I can't, when I see him, I love this fish. He's my soul, he's my heart, he's my soul, this fish. So I got him, or them, got them some of these caves, and he likes that particular cave. They look a little bit like hobbit houses to me. I like to put moss like on the top. In the end, I'm hoping the moss will grow as much as to not like show the ceramic cave as much. Make it a little bit more natural. He likes that particular cave, but he's not like hiding all the way in. He likes to sit at the entrance. That's where he sits and looks around. If he feels unsafe, he can go in, but he likes to sit at the door, on the porch, and look around. He's the sweetest. I do notice he's not a traveler. Oh, he's now, look at him. Look how pretty he is. I know. Do you guys do that when you talk to your pet or about your pet, you change your voice? Yeah, I do that. What was I saying? I'm so distracted. Yeah, they're not travelers. So this little guy will not, probably, I don't see him doing that. He's not gonna go and search for food everywhere. He's only going to sit in that area, and I see him. What he does is he circles that cave. He goes in the back, a little in the front, but he circles the area. He doesn't go everywhere in the tank. Now, I do see a lot of people placing these plecos or suggesting you need like super big tanks for them. I would disagree to that. When I had him in the big tanks, I was not seeing him as often as I do now. He was more skittish than this, not to mention in the discus tank. He absolutely does not travel, and I know this because of the eaten Anubias. It was only the Anubias that was in his area that was eaten. And I see him, how he behaves in this tank. So I feel very comfortable placing a few of them actually in this tank, which this is a shallow. It has a lot of space on a horizontal, not as much on a vertical. That is just my preference, and it's okay for him. I did try to create these, let's say, more natural-ish type of spaces for them, like with the wood and all of these caves. Obviously, when you breed them, you will see on the internet all sorts of setups with a lot of caves. That's a whole different story. You know, that's more optimized for breeding. I kind of want to see what's in the tank as well. But as I was saying, I firmly believe they're not travelers. I also firmly believe they eat Anubias, if you don't provide probably veggies in their diet, at least when they're juveniles. And I firmly believe they don't need, look at him, oh, he's eating the Anubias. Do you see this? I hope it's gonna be clear. Let me try. He's eating the Anubias right now, right as we speak. Let me give you close up. Oh, he's not. He was eating the Anubias. I saw him. Oh no. It's okay, I can buy him all of the Anubias in the world that he likes. It's fine. So what was I saying again? Don't worry, I'll be sure to make like a tutorial or a basic care guide, which is a lot more like fluent than what I'm doing here. This is just me blabbing about the zebra pleco that I love so much. So yeah, as I was saying, not a traveler, eats Anubias, and is not shy if he feels snug and safe in his environment. Mine gets along with betas very, very, very well. And I think that's enough for today. I think I blabbed enough, but I can't, you guys. I love this fish so, so much. In the first video that I showed you, I told you that I wanted this fish for 10 years or 15, I don't remember. I wanted this fish for a long time, and I'm so not disappointed. He's everything that I hoped he would be, and I love the setup. I can see him every time I come into the grow space. I see him. He's out on his little porch or around. He's not hidden. So that's a good sign, and I just cannot wait to get more. Hopefully I'll have more than 2 like in time, but it's really hard to come by. They're quite expensive, so you know, I wasn't even sure that I could grow them properly because of the articles on the internet, but I'm very confident now. So yeah, I will take you with me probably when I'm gonna purchase the new ones, and for today that's about it. I think you've had enough of me, but I hope this video helps you out and gives you a little bit more courage with these fish. I'm not saying spend all your money on 10 of them or anything. I'm saying if you want to try out with one, I don't think it's that hard. And I think if you go small, like smaller tanks, I think it's better. I think you're gonna see him more. I think he's gonna feel safer, and just be more active. And other than that, trial and error, I guess. They're definitely not as hard as they say. If I can do it, so can you. Right, so with that said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you are still around. How long is this video? With that said, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.